Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 4 German battleship Kaiser. She has 10 305mm guns, 22 secondary guns, 28 AA defense rating, a surface detect of 14.2 kilometers top speed, 22.3 knots, total health 46,400. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main armament, reduce the chance of flood and fire. For my commander, basic survivability and expert marksman. We are on the map Strait. And I'm not sharing this game because I haven't done the Kaiser. I have done the Kaiser. I'm sharing this game because many of you are in these tiers. Many of you have commanders as unskilled. And it's a fantastic game in the Kaiser. It really is a great game, and hopefully you enjoy it the entire way through. Now, I tried to fire on the enemy Svetlana, but unfortunately, we only do 840 damage. Now I'm going to turn on my secondaries because I notice enemy Wix is on an intercept course. He does intend to try and deny me the breakout that I was going to go for. So I can't go that way. Now I have to turn back. I need to avoid the inevitable torpedo systems, right? We know the Wix wants to use torpedoes against my ship. Everyone should recognize that immediately when you see a destroyer who apparently is coming right towards you. Don't just stay there. Do something about it. And I'm going to turn away. I feel that he is going to try and go through that little tiny gap or just on the other side of that island. And he knows everything about me. He did intend to send torpedoes, but I didn't go for it. I'm not dumb. And he took a big torpedo from something. First salvo, unsuccessful. Needs to be better. Next one, we just ride it up just slightly, and we only needed one shell. It makes contact. We do the necessary 230 points of damage, and with a grand total of 1,000 points of damage done in the game, we've got our first kill. We didn't deserve that kill, but no one else was killing that guy. The torpedo guy is all the way on the north side, and yep, here come the torpedoes. I'm going to be able to avoid all but one torpedo. And yes, indeed, one torpedo, which causes a flood, and it was just at his max range. You see how close those torpedoes were to stopping. That's what you can do early on, is keep your distance from a lot of destroyers. And just a touch too short on the enemy Kohlberg. So I adjust my aim. I notice on the minimap he's turned away. First salvo does pretty good. And grand total about 4,000 points of damage. Not bad. But I want the Citadel. Everyone wants a Citadel. You want a Citadel. Oh, friendly Dirtsky is sending out a lot of torpedoes. Now, the range is really bad, so you got to be right on top of your target. But you can put a lot in the water. The enemy Svetlana is able to avoid all of the torpedoes, though. And it's funny because I'm in comms and I'm going, oh man, we got to keep TD alive. Save him. With my friend Poymain. We talk about stuff that isn't related to the game when we're playing the game. Well, at least I do. He can't stand it because he has to focus on the game. Now, we didn't do that much damage to the enemy cruiser. It was partly because the angle of the target, even with really crappy armor, a good angled target will be able to ricochet, aka zero damage, a lot of shells. I fire on the enemy Dirtsky just as my friend dies, and we take a big shot from the enemy Kaiser. A big shot. And I gotta keep my distance. The torpedo range is really crappy. We're overextended. This looks really bad, right? How is this gonna turn into a good game? Well, just pay attention. It could be a terrible game. I could be lying to you. I'm not, but I could be. And a little bit high. He covered the distance slightly. More big damage. 5,000 this time for the enemy Kaiser. And I just don't have enough health to take all this. So I have to give ground. I have to also take this guy out, though. So we got about 2. We miss with the first salvo. We miss again. Straddle the target. Man, at this point I'm going, the game's so over. Poymain, the game is so over. There's nothing we can do. But you just have to hold true to the strategy that you have employed. Maintain good tactical awareness. Decide to keep your distance. Don't ever give up on maintaining good angle against a target. At some point, you're going to find an angle where the damage just stops coming in. Especially if your friendlies can push the center of the map and put a ton of pressure on the enemy. And this looks good. Kill shot. We take out the enemy destroyer. He's never within range of his torpedo systems. He tried very hard. Still got to give up a lot of ground. We're not out of the woods yet. And there's a lot of neutral targets. What do I want to fire on? I really don't want... Ooh, is there a iron platypus? No, he's pretty neutral. The Svetlana's pretty neutral. Is the enemy Carl showing a lot? And this is what you got to do in a battleship. You got to decide on targets of opportunity. You can't just fire at a neutral target. Now, some of you might be going, well, you should just try and work something down. Well, if I could take the Carl out in one shot, it's worth it. So we fire at the waterline, or at least lead him that way. 1600. Ugh. You can tell the enemy smells blood. The sharks are coming out. They're trying to circle and take us out. I have 3 friendly ships. 3 friendly ships all the way in the northwest side of the map going after an enemy aircraft carrier. I think that's a little overkill. But we do have 2 allies that are assisting right now. They're taking the attention of 1 battleship. Fire at the waterline on the Kohlberg. There we go. That's the luck we needed. We need to be able to wipe out a couple enemy ships. That felt really good. Devastating strike. We got a citadel. We did great damage to the enemy, and he showed too much of his side. You could take advantage of that all day, every day, as long as you can find a target willing to show their side. Now, this enemy Kaiser is pulling back. Maybe he felt like his base was threatened, and it's a good strategy. As far as the game is concerned, we have a clear advantage, right? Well, I don't have a clear advantage. I want to survive, and I've been giving up so much ground in order to do just that. I do a quick check on the aircraft carrier. He has sustained 0 damage. He hasn't been detected. I mean, everyone, and I do mean everyone, wants to kill aircraft carriers whenever they see them. So clearly they haven't seen them. And the Kaiser's retreating. Maybe he wants to take on friendlies as they try an assault. The enemy aircraft carrier is finally defeated. We can finally get the 3 people who went and assisted. If those 3 would have just funneled into the enemy base, we would have had not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4 ships as an advantage on the enemy. We only have 1 with this engagement going on right now. That's why it's a big deal when so many friendlies go after an aircraft carrier. I fire on the enemy cruiser, the enemy Carl, and we just nick him a little bit. He was pretty neutral, but it's good damage, it's solid damage. The rate of fire on the German battleships really does encourage you to take shots at cruisers whenever possible. It really doesn't matter. It's those battleships where you need to consider the neutral target. And he's showing a perfect broadside. Oh, I just would love to knock this guy out all the way. Fire at the waterline. It looks good, but it's not good. It's not good at all. And keep in mind, I believe the Carl has the German torpedoes, the classic German torpedoes. You can't cover too much ground without considering that you might be under threat of torpedoes. I didn't notice that he fired as fast as he could. Yep, here they come. Here come the torpedoes. We knock them out. And somehow I'm able to avoid it completely by slowing down. Just barely, though. I mean, just barely. I don't have any aircraft to assist in the detection, and you never will. This is the upgraded hull. And we got an enemy Kaiser, enemy Svetlana. Who do we want to go after? The Svetlana is showing almost a perfect broadside. And it has less armor, less health. It would make sense to fire on it. Remember, you don't need to have all 5 gun turrets aimed at the target with the Kaiser. And in fact, it's going to make you vulnerable if you do. Just focus on the 4. It's just like the Wyoming, just like the New York. You can't try too hard to get all guns pointed one direction. Otherwise, you're really risking a lot of damage on your ship. Early on in the match, we showed too much side to the Kaiser, right? We were taking lots of damage, 7k, 5k, 2k, and then it basically stopped because we were showing a very, very neutral picture to him. Oh, we get a Citadel 8400, the single shell that made contact. Don't even see a ricochet, overpin, what have you. Just barely nicked the enemy cruiser, and he's firing, of course, on my ship. The small caliber HE, it's going to have a low chance to light the target on fire, but it's a lot of shells. The Svetlana has torpedo systems, but the range is really crappy. Unless you're in point-blank range, you don't need to worry about it at all. And we get 3.5 thousand points of damage. Not bad, not bad. I'm happy with this. I have good angling against the 2 enemy battleships. The friendlies that tried to take out, and eventually did take out, the enemy aircraft carrier, they're finally here to assist us. We did lose some friendly battleships, but they did their part. They held the attention of probably 2 enemy ships. Fire again. We get 2,000 more. Still, he's alive. Take a quick check. Friendly Poimain, he's not looking good. 6,000 hit points on his ship. But if we can take out a low health target, it's worth it. Either you can blow up a target or you focus on a low health target. And he's using the border. Okay, so this is pretty rare now. Players don't really use the border as much, but the border's going to slowly slow your ship down. And usually a player will try and react when you fire. So I sort of baited a reaction and then fired. Unfortunately, I didn't compensate for the distance that he was moving up the border, and let's watch as Poimain dies. Yes, it's really unfortunate that Poimain died there. I really am sad that Poimain died. No, I'm not. We've been friends for forever, okay? It's just, it's so much fun to do that. Oh, come on, get this guy, get him. Oh, 212? Are we gonna nick him here? No, of course not. Ah! And we have an enemy destroyer close by, but again, it's a Dirtsky. Probably 3-4 kilometer range torpedoes. Not that impressive. And it's pretty impressive that I can't kill a guy who's on the border, and he's basically stationary at this point. One shot on him should be enough, and it is. We earned Kraken Unleashed, and now there's only 2 enemies left. Friendly Phoenix, 11 of 15, don't know where that's from, but he sends his torpedoes, doesn't hit the target. Gonna engage the enemy Dirtsky. And we raise the caliber ever so slightly as he turns away. You sort of have to flow with a nice curve. If anyone remembers, yep, friendly takes him out. If anyone remembers, I use an oval to aim around a target. It really works very cleanly. I will be doing an aiming video, probably tomorrow, where I focus on that. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, Phoenix is taken out. I forgot. I'm going to be streaming later today at twitch.tv/Notser. We earned Confederate. Good damage there. We now have more health than the enemy. Funny how that works out. This is the guy that has been hounding me the whole day. He probably has done 80% of the damage I've sustained in this game, and he's going to try and fire some more. But I angle appropriately. I avoid most of the damage. I'm going to reopen, so all 4 gun turrets, not all 5, all 4 can engage the target. Yep, come on, 6,000. Going to fire again. I don't know if we'll do 6,000, but I'm trying. Can we get the kill? No. Okay, well, I could risk the number 5 gun turret. I could do this, and I feel like I can. Oh, no, here he comes. Can't do it yet. Got to take the damage. Ooh, 4,000. That's not bad. He earns Confederate on that shot. This must be a different Kaiser then. Either way, see you later. No, either way, see you later, Kaiser. Are you serious? 1,104 hit points left? Well, there's just no way. He's going to die to friendlies. Yep, here it comes. Is that the shot? Oh. Are we going to get a chance? Wow. Are we really going to get a chance to do this? No, of course not. Of course not. For a little bit, it felt pretty bad. But eventually, we recovered, had good angling, got lucky with a couple citadels, and there you go. We earned 5 kills, Confederate, Dreadnought, Kraken Unleashed, Devastating Strike, 1,457 base XP. That Wakataki on our team did a great job too. Good job, Formula. There's a lot of enemies that didn't really score that much. I wonder what they've done or did in the match. All the damage, of course, AP. Not a shocker there. And we had good angling where we could absorb potential damage of 1.3 million. Overall, it was a great game. I really enjoyed the back and forth, and it was action-packed the entire time. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.